Woo woo woo.
Boo boo boo, it's your girl Ramel.
And hey, it's Leslie.
Yay. Okay, we're about to do this second part of Miss ReesaTeesa. Y'all
Come
ready?
on, Risa.
I just wanted to let y'all know that I think it's so hilarious because Leslie is so irritated with Risa. And I think it's
I,
so funny.
yeah, it is. Yeah, that was too
Leslie
much
is like,
buildup for
talk,
not enough. That was too
yes.
much.
But
That's like
remember, I told
going
you,
up and up and up and up a roller coaster and never getting to come down.
like, oh
And
my
they're like,
God.
all right, get off.
And
Like,
you're
what the hell?
right.
You
But
told me
remember, I
there
told
was
you
no
last week.
drop.
Yeah. I was like, don't get too excited. I was like, I
It's 8
mean, it's
hours
cool.
long, girl. 8
Right. But
hours.
don't, I didn't know it was 8 hours. I think because I listened when I was doing stuff and I'll just set my phone to the side and like,
See, I was
I,
taking like legit notes. Like, so
uh,
it did take,
oh,
I paid more attention. The note
yeah.
taking is
Yeah.
probably what irritated me so much because I'm like,
Yeah.
God dang, I just wrote this, Risa.
Right. Yeah. I think I probably was irritated too. Because there were parts where I was like, I mean, she's okay. Story. I like, because Leslie was like, I can't believe this went this viral. And I feel like I understand what you're saying because it's like, it's not like the storytelling was so great. And so, like, oh my God, this girl is so, like, she's so talented at storytelling. And people were like, not even that. Like, it's just a story that she tells. It is kind of like, huh, okay, so this went viral. All right. Well,
To
sorry you had
me,
to go through that,
yes.
Risa.
Like, it was a riveting story, but not, for me,
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
8 hours worth of storytelling. But
Like,
we're
if I
even
knew
getting ahead of
Risa,
ourselves. We
we
got
are.
to tell the
Yes. Yeah.
people. We got to finish up and tell the people what
Let's go.
happened. Okay,
Right.
so
Okay.
y'all know what happened. We're not doing
Well,
no clear ups, no
yeah.
clarifications, no. So we're in part 27 from part 26. She's ran the initial background check. Nothing came back with the marriage license, social security number. She has the social for her job application was different, and it came back with associated states: Georgia, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. She paid for a background check on her own. Um, him and his ex-wife were supposed to have lived in California, but there's no addresses in California, so they've always lived in Georgia. He says he filed for divorce, but really the ex-wife filed for divorce, and they were only married for 6 months. And then I couldn't understand what she was saying, a pauper affidavit. I don't know what that is. A pauper affidavit,
I
and
don't
that
know
means that
either.
you're basically too poor to pay for attorney
Oh,
fees, and they both
yeah.
did that. So this man didn't have no money from uh
Mm-mm. No.
no, he wasn't playing football with offshore accounts. He's got
Mm-mm.
pauper affidavits up in here, and he worked at a grocery store because that's where he was served. And this is where she gets the
Right.
ex-wife's phone number off of the divorce information, right?
Right.
So that's part
Uh-huh.
27. Part 28, she calls the ex-wife, and the ex-wife laughs and says, If you're calling me, I know it's bad." So
Right. And
that's when
it's
they
so crazy
talk.
because like, none of the marriages are long. Like, they figure it out pretty quickly. But I guess the lies he's telling, like, I mean, those are big lies. You
Yeah.
feel like you figured out pretty quickly that he's like, wait a minute, there's no new house.
Yeah, like, I guess you just kind of become numb to it after a while, but, like, then, the veil is lifted because they all do figure it out.
Very quickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
So he's
like
good at what he does, but
5-year
not that good.
marriages. Yeah, right, right. It was very 6 month, and then ReesaTeesa was. I don't think it was a year either.
What did they met in March 2020, and everything
March.
ended July
Yeah.
2021?
Because they got
I
married in
mean,
January, and then by July, I think it was 6 months of a marriage. They were together full
yeah.
thing for a year, but then the marriage
Spoiler
was so
alert, you
yeah, very
guys.
quickly.
But
Oh, sorry.
yeah. But yeah, it did not take long. But his exes were pretty gracious about talking to her and being like, then if
Yeah,
he
everybody
whatever
was,
he
yeah.
said is a lie. So yeah, so
Mhm.
Risa and the ex-wife, they talked for like almost an hour, she says. And what did I write here? Millions of listeners. Oh, I was mad because ReesaTeesa was like, I promise you, this conversation is just for me. It's just for me. And then she was like, and I still kept my promise that that conversation was just for us. Meanwhile, millions of people are hearing this conversation she talked to the ex-wife about. That irritated
Oh.
me because she told the
You're like,
lady,
"What in the world?"
because she told the lady, I won't tell anybody about our conversation. This is just for me because I need to know all these questions. And then she was like, and then I
Maybe
kept
she
my
cleared
promise.
it
It
up.
was just maybe. But I was like,
Yeah.
Risa, I'm already irritated with her at this point. So that's just that was my feeling. And
Right.
then at the end of the call, she asked, "Oh, how is your daughter?" Because remember, Legion
Mhm.
said the daughter passed away from COVID. And then
Mm.
she said, I didn't have the heart to tell her what Legion had said,
Right, I'm
even
glad that
though,
she didn't, because I would've felt the same way. I'm like, "Don't tell her that he said your daughter died. Like, please don't tell her
well,
that."
she's
Yeah.
gonna know now because she told millions of
Well,
people what he
yeah.
said.
Well, that's true.
So
At the time, I
at the
understood. I
time,
don't think I
yes.
could've told somebody either.
No, I agree.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's part 28. Part 29, uh, this is when this is after she's talked to the ex-wife. She says she took the long way home, and I made a TikTok because all I could think about was the Supertramp song. She took the long way home. She took the long way home. Do you know that song?
What the heck?
You don't know the
Mm-mm.
Take the Long Way Home
Supertramp is the
song?
name of a band?
Uh-huh.
I don't think so.
They're a 70s band. Well, I made a
Girl.
TikTok on it. You should watch it because it's on there. And then she's talking about
Well,
how
I think the one
I
that had
took the
that
45 to the 5 to the instead of taking
yeah.
that made me laugh so hard because all I could think of was the Californians on Saturday Night Live. Have you seen that skit on
Oh,
Saturday Night
so
Live?
is the Cowboy Smart that's the one I saw on TikTok. So is that the song? That's the song?
The
The
song in the
California
background
ones
is the
with
Take the
all
Long Way song. I put them both on
Oh,
there.
okay, I did see that. I didn't recognize the song. I just thought I thought the skit was funny. I laughed at the skit,
Oh,
but no, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
oh. Well, maybe it was a little
Sorry.
subtle. I put it on in the background. But yeah, she said took the long way home a
Yes.
lot. So, um, anyways, oh, my brain. Um, she takes a long way home. She decides not to say anything to Legion that she's spoken to the ex-wife, and she looks up his mom's obituary, and it lists a different wife than the wife she knows about, and it
Mm,
says him and his brothers, and doesn't say anything about the sisters he has. So she was like, "What the heck?"
mhm.
And so at this point, she's starting to come up with a game plan. Like, this man is a liar, a liar.
Yeah.
So,
Just
but
about everything, like, stuff that don't even make sense. Like, it's so crazy.
I am impressed with her that
I'm tired.
she managed to keep her mouth shut and didn't say anything, because it's probably the worst thing that she could have done is to like let him know she was on to him. So I do
Right.
admire
Because I
her for
think at that
keeping.
point yeah. Because I imagine you'd be kinda
Ish.
scared. You'd be like, "Okay, if he's capable of just lying about dumb stuff, is he" like, you don't know, like, who you're dealing with. Like, is he violent? Is he you just don't know. So, yeah, I think that's the
Right.
best approach is to be like, "Let me move in
I mean, that
silence and
is,
figure out how to get the hell up out of here."
yes. I do think that that is an important lesson of all 8
Mhm.
hours of this riveting story. I'm sorry, you guys. My allergies are
You're like, "Can
so bad
somebody
because it
edit
decided to
this?"
be 90 degrees in Texas in
Oh my
February.
god.
It is so
And then
hot.
tomorrow's supposed to get down right, and but tomorrow's supposed to be 50s,
Yeah,
right? And
tomorrow's going to
then
be in the
but the
50s.
weekend's supposed to go back up to the 70s?
Yeah,
Girl.
my allergies are just not having it. So I apologize. if I sound a little stuffy.
Oh, you sound fine.
Okay, good. All right, so part 30 is another clarifying video next. Part 31, this is when she does the court search on the wife's name from the obituary and finds the divorce record from 2015. So not only does he have he has two ex-wives that she thought he only had one. And they were married and they lived in Rhode Island. And she searches the grandmother's name from when she took her to uh, he took her to the cemetery, and
Right.
the obituary shows that she died at a different time and still doesn't list the sisters of the surviving members of family.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then
then at this point,
at one point, wasn't it the grandma that died at some point, like at the beginning of the story, and like he was so sad. She died of COVID, supposedly. Wasn't that?
yeah,
Didn't he say he's like,
yeah,
my grandma just died of COVID, and he was
uh-huh,
like so sad, and he was like grieving. Like, what kind of show did he? He was grieving. She said he was
yeah,
actively sad, and
yeah, but
his
she had
grandma had
died
died like,
years earlier, like 2008 or something, I
girl.
think.
I mean, that's pretty. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, where were you channeling this from, sir?
Yeah, like imagine like finding out all this stuff and then like flashing back to like these like dramatic events where he's like crying
Yes,
over his grandma and you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't even real. That is kind of
right.
wild.
That's. I mean, yeah. It's like I said. It's scary. Like she did right and not like don't say shit. This, but we don't know what this dude is capable of.
Right.
Just leave. Just try to leave. Mm.
Well, yes, girl, for sure. And then at this point she says uh that he's almost completely bedridden from his knee injury. And she tells the
Yes.
pastor what she found, and the pastor is like, mind is blown. So she's
Mm.
starting to tell folks a little bit, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
done with
Yeah, a
him.
little bit, right?
But I feel like she was always really sympathetic or empathetic about his knee injury. Like, she really did seem to be
I
worried
think.
about his knee and him being bedridden. Like, she wasn't worried about
Yeah,
him doing like drugs or anything. I thought that was going to come out, is that he was doing drugs, but that was
it's
never
not
part of
right.
it. I thought that
But I
was
think
why he
you would
lost
too,
weight.
Leslie.
Hmm?
Girl, that's what I mean. This is a spoiler alert too. That's one of the questions that I feel like never got answered. Like I was like, what happened to his knee? Like I was
Yeah.
like, at the end, I was like, what? I thought they were gonna be like, and you know, he got hit by one of his exes, and that's what's wrong with his knee or something. Like
Yes,
that never
girl.
really. That I was waiting for
We
the knee
talked
part
about
to
his
come out.
knee
Like,
for a
girl, what
long
happened to his
time
knee?
and
We
referenced it
really
a
did.
lot
Yes.
for it
I was
never to
like
be
waiting.
a thing. Yeah,
Yep,
I
yep.
thought that he was
Just
going to
knee
be
has
addicted
just
to like
messed up his knee
opiates or something.
or
No.
something. Something I thought I just knew it was gonna tie in somewhere, or like some bill collector came and like kneecapped him because he owed a bookie money or something. I
Ooh,
just
that would have
knew it was
been,
something like
see,
that, girl.
that would have been 8 hours worthy. Uh-uh.
Right.
Nope.
Like, oh yeah, we just I don't know, you got a fucked up knee. And it wasn't from arena football either. We don't know. Like yeah. So yeah, we need to ask her. I bet you we could ask her because she's good at looking at comments. Like, Risa, what was up with the knee?
Maybe you ask her, because if she
Why did she?
listens to our podcast, she's going to be like, well, Leslie doesn't like me. It's not that I don't like you, girl. I think you're just a little long-winded. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah. Well, you just
But
need to
some
ask her
people,
like, what did the knee have
clearly
to do?
millions of people loved that shit. So, I mean, who am I?
Right. So
Risa, you're great, but it's
exactly.
fine.
Right.
Okay, so part 32, this is the beginning of June. We're still talking about him being bedridden. He's left the condiment company for Apple. He's not eating. He's losing weight. He's asleep all the time. And she looks through his phone, and this is when she finds Peaches. And he met Peaches on Plenty of Fish in February, And Peaches,
Mm.
in case y'all haven't guessed, is a lady of the night. So,
Love the call me peaches when he get this nasty. That's
mm,
a Beyonce
mm,
song. Sorry.
there you go. So we got Peaches
Peaches
up in
is
here.
like the ultimate stripper name.
I mean,
Stripper
if you're gonna be a stripper or
work night
a lady of
worker.
the night, Peaches it is. Freaking Jack Black will sing about
Peaches.
you. Peaches, 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 peaches,
Girl.
peaches.
Like if your
Or
name
the
is
teaches
Peaches
of
and like you don't
Peaches.
like the what?
The teaches of Peaches.
Peaches.
There is a singer
I
named
don't know.
Peaches, and this girl is nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Her
just
one of
like
her songs is
yeah, if
called
your name
Fuck
is
the Pain Away. Yeah, that's Peaches. Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time. She's nasty, girl.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to check out
Ooh.
some Peaches sometime.
Yeah. Girl, if you're Peaches, you got to be like you can't be a prude with your name Peaches. Like, come on now. Come on out here,
Unless,
Peaches.
yeah.
Show
And you better have a big old booty.
you really don't be coming out there with them flat cheeks
Uh-uh.
with peaches.
Yeah. That's the rules. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, anyways.
Think it's valid.
So, Peaches. That's the end of 32. All right. Part 33. It's June 17th, 2021. And this is when she confronts Legion about San Diego State.
Mm.
And she tells him, hold on. Let me read my notes real quick. Okay,
Does she,
she confronts him about San Diego State, and he's like, "You never went there. You never lived there." Da, da, da. And she tells him to leave, and he calls his aunt saying, "My wife doesn't want me anymore. I've never even lied." And she says she snapped,
mm,
and she really said she was tough. She said she threw him out with her fist, and that was it.
mm,
Um, and he's on the phone with his aunt, she's on the phone with the mom, and she's like, "You better get out of here, or you need to leave," basically. And the aunt's like,
mm.
"You need to go, I'll send you money, come home." And she's like, "What the hell do you need money for? Why is she gonna have to send you money?"
You got money, right?
Right. So now oh goodness, we're moving on
What?
to, I thought I pushed a
Oh.
button and stopped the podcast. um
Oh, okay.
We're on part 34. I'm right. She's very dramatic about wanting to kill this man. She says at this point she only knows like 2% of the lies. She's kicking him out. She sees all these piss bottles of Powerade in his room. She puts his bags
Oh
in his
yeah.
car for him to leave. She said it takes him 2 hours to leave. The fight started at like 8 in the morning, and he's finally gone like by noon. And she starts
Mm.
packing up all of his stuff, and she starts changing the locks. Um, so now that's 34. 35, she's packed it all up, she's put it in the TV room. And this point, he says, "Oh man, you're gonna kick me out on my birthday?" And she was like, "I don't give a fuck about your birthday. You can get to getting." So she goes and she gets his cake, and she takes it to her family's house, and they eat the cake, and she tells them, "My husband is a liar. This is really what's been going on." And so at this point, her
Hmm.
family didn't know anything. She had mentioned something to her aunt, and
Right.
she said uh, one of the clarifications is that she never talked about her mom visiting. This was right after she had found those Facebook messages. She said that they had played nice when her mom was visiting. So her mom had like a little spidey sense, but didn't say anything because everything seemed fine
Right.
when she was
Because she
visiting.
didn't want to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was trying to be a
So nobody
supportive
really
mom and not
knew.
be like raining on. Right. Right.
Yeah, and yeah, nobody knew what was happening. So she tells her family at this point. And once you tell your family about your
That's it.
relationship, it's
Yeah.
done.
That's it.
So
Yep.
uh let's see. He makes it to Philly to stay with his aunt. A week later, they're talking about divorce. She prints out all the papers. And hold on.
And then because all the printers, have you seen all the jokes about printers? Like I was printing stuff, like they will print some shit. Like Legion's printing stuff. Freaking ReesaTeesa was printing shit out. Like they are some printing
That's
fools.
hilarious.
Like y'all have enough ink in
That's
that. You know how
paper,
much
y'all.
ink costs? Ink costs more than the damn printer. Sometimes it's easier to go get a printer than it is to go get some more ink
A
because the
whole new
ink,
printer, right?
right? Because ink comes with the printer at least first.
Imagine if he hadn't printed out, had all that printed stuff out in his backpack. She wouldn't have known about half the stuff. I mean, that's not you, Legion. Quit printing shit out.
And he might have had enough money to put cash down on that house if he wouldn't have printed all that shit out, saving all that money on ink.
All that ink.
Like right, like Legion, maybe you could have gotten you a $600,000 house cash. You're spending money on the wrong thing.
That is hilarious. All right, so
Are we on the family tree part? What are you? You got it? 'Cause I know there was a part where she like clarified, or did we already go past that part, girl? I don't know.
No, that's next.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, and she's filing for divorce, and she finds out that he's telling everyone in Augusta that she was having an affair and took all his money.
That's right. Yes, we've heard that story before.
Exactly. And then this is where she finds out the family tree, that he has a twin. He has got a twin, and he's got an older brother, and he was married before. Oh, the family didn't know that they were married. The family didn't know that Legion and ReesaTeesa were married.
Right.
They were like,
Well,
well,
because
we
they
didn't even
don't.
know he
They
was married. What are you talking about being his
yeah.
wife? She's like,
Yeah,
what?
they don't fuck with him anymore. Yeah, they don't really know him like that because you can't have anybody like that in your life. That's
Right?
like, can you imagine that being like your brother or something? Like, oh my God, like you would have to be like, I can't deal with you.
Yeah, I have
You,
to
you
create a boundary.
right? Yes, like lying. Like you have a whole fake ass conversations on the phone. Like, what is the purpose? What is the reason?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it gets he was pretending a lot to have conversations with people that don't talk to
Yes.
him. And she said he would put
Like,
him on speakerphone though. Like, I wonder who he was talking to.
oh, I thought he didn't put him on speakerphone. I thought
She
that
said
was the
at
whole
one
thing.
point that the brother or somebody was on speakerphone.
And maybe he was talking to somebody and they were, girl, it's so dumb. And then like the fact that they would talk every morning, like at 6 o'clock in the morning, like you wake up out of your bed to sit there on a fake phone call for 45 minutes with somebody.
Right?
What? Why?
That's
Why?
weird. Okay. So here we go. This is where we start getting all of this is the drop from here on out. That
Right.
I'm air quoting because there is no drop. It's a slow burn.
It's
So
just, yeah, it's just wrapping things up basically.
we're at part 36. The cousin reaches out telling everyone she cheated on him with law enforcement and that he used his weapon to force him out. And then when she's talking to the cousin of Legion's cousin, this is when she finds out that he lied about his siblings and that he only has the twin brother and the older brother.
Mhm.
There are no sisters.
Mhm.
Kim is the cousin's daughter, not his aunt.
Right.
So that's
Right.
his niece. They
Right.
and the niece and him hadn't even spoken in like 20 years.
Mhm.
And then this is when she realizes that he's lied about three different people dying, and that he's been a liar since he was a kid, and that nobody in the family messes with him.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So,
Like, Yeah, it's kind of sad that he's like by himself, but at the same time, it's on
He's
his
literally
own.
doing it to himself.
Yeah, like
Like, quit lying, bruh.
yeah, he's really just alienated his entire family. Like, that's sad.
Yeah, because if you're gonna imagine having a conversation with your brother for 45 minutes every day, like you would think that subconsciously, like that's telling you that you wish that you had somebody to talk to every day that you could
Right.
trust, but nobody trusts him because he's a liar.
Mm-mm. Ugh.
Oh, Legion. All right, 37. This is when she physically meets Legion at the UPS place to sign the divorce papers. Said he gets out of his car, he's skinny, he has the same clothes on, and then he's stanky.
Mm.
She said people at the UPS store were holding their nose,
Oh
that he
no.
signed it, and then this is one part that I did not like. I understand being petty, but she was real proud of herself for giving him $6 for chicken nuggets. And I found that petty as
Why you
fuck.
like that? Why?
I don't know. Like if
I mean,
she just took, I mean, she was bragging about how she just took everything from him, that everything in the house now belonged to her because he didn't read the papers. And then she's like, here's $6 for chicken nuggets. I'd be pissed too. But that part, I was like, I don't know. I didn't like that.
mm, no, I wouldn't, because I
It
felt
rubbed
like
me the wrong way.
she was pretty civil about everything.
I
Like,
do
she
agree that
handled
she was civil,
everything.
but there was some
Yeah.
parts where she was like, and I didn't kick him out with anything but my fists. Like that, I was like, oh my God. And
Right.
then she references the $6 for chicken nuggets again. And so it just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. I know this man is
Right.
dirty, nasty, liar, did her
Right.
dirty, da da da. But I don't know.
She had to get her little, you have to have some little
You
petty
gotta
moment, just like, because you wasted my time for all that. Just let me be petty with you for just a second,
right.
because you didn't wasted my time. So
Exactly.
that was her pettiness.
I mean, that's
It
fine.
could be worse. It could have been
It
worse,
could have been
girl.
definitely worse. But
She could
so
have done all kinds of crazy
I
stuff
was
to
just
that
rolling my
man.
eyes at her at this point because I'm like, you came up here to
You were
tell
just irritated.
everyone you gave
Yeah,
him
girl, you were just
six.
irritated. This girl just irritated you.
She
That's
did.
all.
She really did.
He was like, "Girl, shut up."
And then yes, because then oh yeah, that she was says she realizes that he's been living in his car. There is no money, and then they drive away from each other. Then the next part is all another housekeeping and clarifications video. Next, part 39. We're in July 2021. So the papers have been signed, but she says that she thinks that she had to wait for 30 days, which I still don't know if she did or didn't. But she had to wait for 30 days after they were signed to file. So she's got the papers, but they're not filed yet. This is when she finds his book bag with all the packet saying he was terminated from the condiment company. She
Mm.
found pay stubs from the cemetery where he showed her his grandparents' grave. So that wasn't even their grave. He just knew the last name was there
Just
and took her
work there.
there. Who takes people to random
Oh,
cemeteries?
oh my gosh! Just to
Uh,
prove the lie, just to further the lie. Like, oh
yeah.
my god. Ugh.
Um,
Mm, mm,
there were
mm.
pay stubs from a construction company. There was unemployment paperwork, and then there was a temp agency info um, for being a forklift loader. Um, at the condiment company. But they said he was making decent money doing that, being a forklift loader at the condiment
Yeah.
company.
Well, because to be a operator forklift, you have to have license. Like me and you can't just go in there and start operating forklifts. You have to have some sort of a training or license or something like that. And like I said, dude was paying the bill. I think that was too was messing with her head because he was paying the bills. It wasn't like he was just freeloading. So you're
Right.
like, but it's paying the bills. So what the hell?
Yeah, that would be very confusing.
Yeah, you're like, okay, you ain't got $750,000, but you got something.
Do you have 7,500? Because that's
Right.
fine.
Like, That's fine too. Go get you, like I say, go get y'all pre-approved for a home that's $350,000 and live a nice middle class life. And calm down.
Girl, Legion wouldn't have it.
Leave,
He wouldn't be able to do it.
right? Stop shopping for Audis and BMWs and get you an Altima like
Get on out of
ReesaTeesa
here.
did. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that.
Right? BMW about to give
Nothing
her
wrong with it.
a blue MC5 with a cognac
With the
interior.
cognac. Girl, we'll see because I'm telling you, them things, especially because now I'm gonna have to take my car to the body shop. I'm telling you, them expensive cars those are the mechanics' worst nightmares. I'm just saying.
Word. Yes. She also finds, sorry, I was like, okay. She also finds the paperwork for weekend jail.
Oh yeah, who even knew you could do weekend jail?
Right? And
Maybe
then
I did know that. I
do
feel
what?
like that does sound familiar. So maybe I did know that because whenever she said it, I was like, you know what? I feel like I had heard of that. Like for people with like minor offenses, and you still have to work because you don't want to like take a productive citizen off of their job for
Right.
like something that's not like violent or anything like that.
Yeah. Did they ever say what he was in weekend jail for? I think he just denied it the whole time.
Yeah, he didn't seem like I don't recall him being violent, so I bet you was something not like maybe a misdemeanor of some sort.
So we're about to get to
Oh,
the
was he that?
ex-girlfriend, or either the ex-wife or the ex-girlfriend had a restraining order against him because they got
Oh, okay.
physical. But I think
That's
they were
right. That's
physical
right.
with each other. But I do think that that's the only time that they said he got physical.
Yeah. And I think the women usually end up getting physical with him because they're just
So
so
frustrated.
frustrated. I don't
Yeah.
think he's the one. I'm not defending him. I'm just
Right.
saying like yeah, I
He's
usually
an
don't think because Risa
agitator,
was the
not
one.
a yeah.
Yes. I think he likes pushing people's buttons, it seems like. Like, let
Yeah.
me see you get
Let me
all
see how
excited
far I
about this
can get.
car. Let me see excited get excited about this house.
I wonder if he enjoys the part about getting them excited or the part about letting them down.
I don't know.
Like, I wonder if like that's like watching go from so excited to so disappointed, if like that's the appeal. Like, I wonder what the appeal is.
What's the right? I did see, well, this is a spoiler alert, but like I've been seeing follow-up videos since then. And at one point she said that one of the brothers called and he was at some point diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
Mm,
So that about says it all there.
yeah,
You're like,
mental
okay, well,
illness.
I mean, that's crazy.
Unchecked mental illness is,
Yeah. And
yeah,
his parents tried to help before they passed away. They tried helping him with therapists and um, medicine and stuff, but he wouldn't take his medication. He didn't want to. So
well,
here we are.
here we are. Um, yes. Oh, and she also finds the driver's license with his ex-girlfriend's address. So she finds out that there's two ex-wives, and between the ex-wives, he had a live-in girlfriend also from like
Mm-hmm.
2015. So two
Right.
wives and a live-in ex-girlfriend, and that's only 5 years right there from when they met.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Girl.
okay. Part 40, she calls the older brother, and the older brother confirms that he's always been a liar, that they hadn't spoken since 2015. And ReesaTeesa says, well, Legion was talking to you every day for 30 to 45 minutes
Mm,
as the morning started. And then she realizes that he wasn't talking to him, or at least he was talking to nobody, or at least not the brother.
right.
Um, and then says that he'll call the twin when he needs money. And basically, the twin has the life that Legion made up, that he is
Right.
a VP in his company. He drives a BMW. He's got like a 4-bedroom house. Like, he's the one.
Right.
And that the aunt that Legion was staying with isn't even really her aunt, his aunt, that was his mom's best friend. Um,
Right.
and that there are no half brothers or half sisters.
Right.
Um, there's no half brothers, there's no sisters, and then the person Junebug she was talking to, is that true that every black person knows a Junebug?
I don't think so because I don't know a June bug.
I thought
So I don't
on
know.
the Cosby Show, Cockroach, I thought that was hilarious. I would never have named my friend after a bug, but she said
Right?
everybody has a June bug.
I don't. I do not
Maybe
know a
it's
June
a
bug.
Georgia thing.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe Georgia they do. That's a little bit more because Texas is kind of considered southern, but Georgia is for sure. Texas is kind of Texas, and then you got
Yeah, like
Georgia.
we
That's
are in
south.
the
The South.
South, but we're not part of the South. We are Texas.
Right. 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 Yeah. So maybe it's a southern thing, girl. I don't know.
I was just curious.
I'm a
I don't have a
firm
June bug in my
advocate.
family.
I'm a firm advocate, and you can't really. I don't think any one person should be advocating for an entire group.
Like everybody has this. No,
I speak for Black people when I say no. You know,
no, you don't.
sometimes it be yeah. You know,
Right? All right. I'm gonna blast through not blast through, but we're getting through
we're
these
getting there. We're
reveals.
getting there.
All right, so she's talking to the brother Chris. He told her that dad was a retired police officer, mom was a retired teacher. That's not true. The dad was a truck driver, and that the dad was a truck driver, and at one point was a correction officer, and that the mom like may have substituted, and that their parents were definitely not pastors of a church. And
Right.
says that he bought some little girl's shoes for some kid named Egypt, and nobody knows who Egypt is. Remember, she
Right?
said she went to the store and mailed them. I
Yes.
wonder who those
And
went
then
to.
also, where did those $2,000 go to for the funeral?
Right?
Well, did he send those $2,000? Did he end up? Because she was like, yeah, go ahead, send $2,000.
Maybe it was for
But like,
Peaches.
girl, that's true. Yeah, she
Peaches
didn't
got
answer
that
that
money.
either. Yeah.
All
Dang, yeah.
right. So she realized that this is part 42. She realizes his work phone is just a secondary phone. She says, ladies, if you're ever looking through a man's phone, which we suggest not to do because
Mm-mm.
sometimes you don't need to know everything, in my opinion. Uh,
Or
she
if you
says,
looking for
don't look
something,
at
you
the
gonna find something.
right. It's your own fault if you find it. Uh,
Right.
so she said, don't just look at the text and the photos. You need to go to the deleted folder. Lesson learned,
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't have known
Right.
that. This is when she learns about reverse Google image search, and she realizes that the screenshots of his bank account she was sending him were just pulled off the internet. The fake car was a screen. The car he had was a screenshot. The house he used to live in was a screenshot. Like she realizes that everything is fake. That he's a legit pathological liar. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she's talking to the aunt, the mother's Bessie again, and he told the aunt that they had the baby that she had was pregnant with was a boy and was alive and
That's
well,
right.
and that he was leaving ReesaTeesa and taking the baby with him. And
Mm-hmm.
ReesaTeesa had to tell the auntie, well, there is no baby.
Right.
That's wild too. You
That
tell this
is
lady
wild.
there's a whole kid, and but she never saw a picture, and she knows he's a liar. Like I just have questions.
And then
Maybe
also
she was
how
sending
this is
photos. He was sending random Google photos or something,
that's true. And like how you gonna be talking about all these people dead and they not dead and then you gonna say your kid is alive? Like what
right?
the hell? What's a what? Like
Creating and taking
yeah.
life over here.
Right.
Legion. Um, said that aunt is saying he's trying to come stay with her, but she doesn't want to get involved in another divorce. And this is when she learns that him and his first wife got in a physical fight, and that's why there was the protective order. And like this is when she was like, he made decent money. He was able to pay all the bills. Um, but he's just a liar, and that Legion was
Mm-hmm.
calling the aunt asking for money. Um, oh no, Legion calls ReesaTeesa asking for money to get him till payday. She confronts him about the twin. She confronts him about being fired from the condiment company. She said, "Why did you tell your aunt we had a baby?" And then asks about his criminal background, and he says he didn't even know what week in jail is. And so, why did you even marry me? And this is when he said, I had to marry you to keep you because you wouldn't have been my girlfriend for a year. And she said that was like one of the most fucked up things he told her.
Hmm. I don't understand why was that one of the most fucked up things.
I,
Do
I don't
you?
know. Not
Okay.
really.
I'm like, that was one of the
I
most
think
fucked
that
up things.
maybe because that's the realization that he didn't ever love her and that it was all just to manipulate her.
To a game. Okay. All
I
right.
mean, yeah, I can see. Yeah, that would definitely. It's like Cody Brown telling everyone, "Oh, I never loved any of my wives." Yes, you did.
Right. Right.
Yes, you fucking
Right.
did. But like,
Right.
I don't know, having maybe the realization that he didn't really love her and this was all some sort of sick game. I just don't understand why he would lie. Legion, why?
Right.
Yeah. Then I don't know. I lost interest because she said something happened, talking about she knows. I said, I don't know. I'm ready for this to wrap up. At this point, it's July 2021. She does the background check and she sees he's been arrested for criminal trespassing, suspended registration, suspended license, and impersonating a police officer. And then she gets the arrest report for that one and finds out that he used his dad's correction officer badge at an apartment complex, saying he was a police officer looking for drugs. He tried to pat down someone. He entered someone's apartment to do a search. And that's
Mm,
when he got arrested because that person worked with like police enforcement and was like, this stranger is in my house with a badge.
right.
Um, and then she was like, this is when I have the realization that he's a felon because that's a felony and that he can't get a passport, he can't vote.
Mm,
And then she's talking about she had to take a polygraph and then asked if she knew a felon and she said no and that made her a liar. I
right.
don't remember a polygraph.
Well, because remember to get her new job
Oh, she didn't
because
take a
she worked
polygraph for
with
a job? Oh, I
yeah
must
because
have
she
spaced out.
worked with law enforcement like so it sounds like because when you work in those places with law enforcement in certain places you have to have like background checks and like they
Clearances and
contact
stuff,
your
yeah.
clear there you go clearance I can think of the name so yeah because
I
they
don't
can't be
remember
having
the
like
poly. I must have
anybody
spaced out because
yeah
I don't
that
remember the
was
polygraph.
yeah it was like in one of the yeah probably like a recap or something like
Yeah,
when she was trying to find out his social security number and all that good stuff somewhere up in there
whatever. All right,
yeah
we're in July, August, part 45. She's still waiting for 30 days to be up, so she's playing nice. So that he's been missing for a week, and she starts reaching out to people trying to find him. And this part I found weird too. Like, why are you working so hard to
yeah
find somebody that you don't want to have nothing to
that's
do with?
a good right. I was like, so if your 30 days is almost up, then just ride it out and
Yeah,
just be cool. I didn't
file it.
understand that either. I was like, girl, just
I think
be
Risa
happy, be
Tisa
gone.
stirs up a little bit herself.
Yeah, like I just want to know. Like, girl, just go on. That don't worry about that dude.
Right. So she starts reaching out to people and the brother says they hadn't spoken in 6 months because he owed him money. I guess it wasn't even his real brother because I put quotations. um some dude named
That's
Omar
right.
said don't reach out to me anymore. uh and then she realizes that Legion doesn't have a family member or a friend in the world that talks to him. Everyone knows he's a liar. No one cares about
Hmm.
him. And this is when he checks himself into a behavioral
Right.
hospital.
Right. Hello, girl. Did you touch the part with your
I'm
chin?
here, I'm here, I'm
Something?
here. I'm
Okay.
here. Sorry, guys. Um, And then she kind of dogged on him for that. Like, what's he supposed to do? Like, commit a crime and go to jail, or like continue
Right?
starving
Like,
in his car? Like, I don't know what. If he went to a behavioral hospital and he has behavioral issues, I don't think that that was the worst decision.
like literally, it's probably one of the best decisions
Right?
he has made this whole time.
Yeah. So I was a little bit okay. He gets out and starts call. This is part 46. We're almost there, folks. Legion starts calling like 30 times an hour on Facebook Messenger. Like she couldn't have blocked him. I don't know. Says he's
Hmm?
coming to the house and the police, and that he knows that she legally didn't have the right to kick him out to leave, and that he's coming back. And the police say, technically, yes, that's true. So then she talks to the police captain. They work all this stuff out, and he realized that there's a warrant for his arrest. And so they're like, when he gets there, call us and we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is mid-August on a Friday. She's coming home from work. He's saying he's on his way. But she is in a company car. So she drives by and he doesn't notice that it's her. And she goes and she parks to where she can see him and she calls the popo. So the police come and he gets out of his car and she says that he's down from like a 3X to like maybe a medium large.
Mm-hmm.
She gets cute about her $6 chicken nuggets again, saying that's the last time that he ate. And the police arrest him. They said he wants to talk to you. She goes up to the car and he's like, I just wanted to get my TV. And she was like, that's my TV. It's in the divorce agreement, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. And she walks off and they take him. She goes inside. She takes a breath. She's like, let me check this mail. She goes out to the mailbox. And what does she find in the mailbox? Her final divorce decree. So she is
So adjacent.
officially divorced. The man is going to jail. That she doesn't have any of this stuff and she's moving like she's moving. So it's good, right?
Right.
He's still going.
Right.
So at this point, it's part 48. The car is still sitting in his driveway. She calls the company to take it, and everything that he had was in the car. So she's proud. She does seem proud that the only thing that he has left after all of this is the literal clothes on his back and keys to a
Right.
car that he doesn't own anymore.
Right.
Because she had all of his Invicta watches and WWE belts. She said she got rid of all of that. That everything in the house was hers, and she got rid of everything that he had touched. So, he's in jail. She's sleeping peacefully. She's about to move, and she court date is coming up. So she calls his attorney and says that his attorney had a horrible attitude. Okay. Um, and tells her that the warrant that they arrested him on was expired and that he was being released. So she stays with her aunt for the next couple days, moved out the end of August, and she said she got rid of everything that Legion had touched, basically. Part 49, she's moved, she started over. Um, some guy reached out to her. Wait, oh, some guy reached out to him about Legion. A guy reaches out to her about Legion, and she says he's a liar, and then goes on about encourages her that she's a good woman and dodged a bullet. I'm over it at this point.
That's right. That's right. 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 Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like basic. I don't know who that guy was talking about
I
asking
can't
about Legion.
remember.
But the whole
I can't
conversation was
remember.
about how he was praising her for getting out of such a horrible situation. But anyways, December 2021, she's sick with COVID. It's the end of the year. Legion is still calling, trying to get his stuff, and she gets real crunk about telling him never to ever contact him again. And that was he did. He stopped contacting her after that. And part 50, Ramel. Why did
Yes.
ReesaTeesa put that fucking sad piano music in the background of part 50?
Oh, I don't even think I think at that point I was just happy, like, oh Lord Jesus, I'm on part 50. Thank you. I
Oh
don't
my
even think
god, it
I
is it was so funny. I heard it and my eyes, I needed to have stretched first how hard my eyes rolled when I heard that music. It was so extra. Um, so yeah, she says she comes to the realization that Legion didn't love her. He didn't even really like her because he took her to see all that
hmm
stuff, all the cars and houses, with no intention of ever providing those. She says he's cruel, and that she says that she thinks that she got into all of this mess because she really just wanted it to be her turn.
Right. Yes, for sure. That's exactly
And then at one point, she even says, like, what if he had said, on the weekends, I'd like to go to open houses to see how the other people live? I do think that she would have been happy with that. Not the
No,
promise of buying
yeah.
her $1 million home. Like, if he
Yeah,
was
no, yeah,
making
I
decent
agree.
money, not, Peaches, that don't fuck with Peaches, but like, they could have had a nice little life together.
No, I agree. Like all he had to do was what he was doing, like paying the bills, and they could have worked. They both had like decent jobs and made a decent wage and came up together. I think it would have been fine. Like she
Yeah.
wasn't like that type of like girl, you need to take me here, and I need this
And she
alley.
even,
She,
yeah, she even laughed about going to the Cheesecake Factory. I think she
yeah,
was a
she's,
Cheesecake Factory gal, and he promised
yeah,
her a life of the luxurious, and then she was like, okay. And that,
yeah. So you're
if
not gonna
he
say
had probably been
no,
just honest with her. Well, no, she said that if she had known he had a criminal background, they would have never even had a date.
right? That's true. Or
So,
maybe he could have, but and then that criminal, I guess it just depends on the offense. I think impersonating an officer, that's pretty like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
yeah.
Um,
But that's it, y'all. That's the story.
that's it. And then like since
I
then,
thought it
there's
was
been a
going to get,
few.
yeah.
Mhm.
I thought it was going to get like, I thought it was going to get crazy when they said
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he had a twin. Girl, my mind went nuts. I was like, the twin has been living his other. I thought, I like, in my mind, it was an identical twin and they've been switching out and she didn't know. Like,
right.
don't get me wrong. It's messed up what Legion did to ReesaTeesa, and he's done it to other women because other women have come out and they all have the same.
hmm
All that have, I'm done with him. I don't want to have anything to do with him. That was the worst time of my life. He's a pathological liar. Da 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 da. Everyone has said the same thing, but I don't think it needed to be 8 hours long. It was
No,
seven.
I think the story was just like not dark enough to where you're like, oh my God, that's dark, but just juicy enough to where you like you want to listen.
Right.
And like if Risa, I imagine like if ReesaTeesa was my friend and we were at the Cheesecake Factory having drinks and she's telling me all this stuff, and then uh like I would have helped her walk through. I would have been like, she's like, girl, I think I'm gonna post it on TikTok. I'm like, okay, but you need to like clean it up a little bit. I would have helped her post the
Right.
story better. I'm like, okay, yes, tell the story because it's crazy, but like you don't have to, or at least if I like would have saw the videos, I'm like, girl, okay, you need to like be quicker. I would have told her. I would have helped her edit. I'm a good
Yes.
editor. I would have helped her edit
Yeah, we
a little
don't
bit.
need
I'm
no
like,
clarification videos.
yeah,
Yeah, it was too long for me.
it was pretty long, and it was like you said, and then like that analogy of the roller coaster was perfect because remember last week I was like, girl, don't get too excited because there's literally like, oh, okay,
Well, yeah,
but I
but
think
for it to have gone so viral, I thought it was going to be insane.
right,
Like wild, beyond my wildest
right,
dreams. But I'm just like, oh, he didn't have money and he didn't play football.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
but
crazy as
hopefully, and
fuck
then
to
have
put
you
out like
seen it?
a, a cash offer on a house when you don't have no
Mm,
money. But
that's
that's
crazy.
like adult crazy stuff. That's like you
That is
didn't file your taxes. Oh my
right.
god, that's that kind of crazy. Not like you jumped off the building on an inflatable unicorn. Like, I don't know. Like, tell me a story is crazy and my mind's going, baby.
Right. And then like damn, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I really did
Oh,
think
have you
the
seen
twin
him?
was going to be. Yes, I have seen him.
Girl, he looked crazy. To me, I can tell when this is so crazy
He looks
to
like
me.
he's
I
the
mean,
twin of the
he
unsuccessful twin of the successful twin.
yes, right. And like he has, and maybe it's now because he doesn't have like when like because he has like doesn't have good skin, like razor bumps and stuff.
Right.
And I feel like men like your skincare is so easy. You don't have to do half of this stuff. Taking care of yourself is so much easier compared to a woman, and
Girl,
that's
if
always
they
going to turn
just
off me.
do a scrub
Oh,
in the shower
that's
and
all
put
you
on
have to
some
do.
sunscreen.
So whenever I see men with like skin like that, I'm like, you don't even do the basics. So
Right.
no. Like,
Mm.
I don't know if that's a bad thing of me to think, but like that would immediately have turned me off. I'm like, no, because I'm
But
not here to
and
teach you about
you know
skincare.
from past experience that if you're a man with bad skin and your woman tells you how to get good skin, listen, because you know who I'm talking about would never listen to me when I told him how to take care of his skin.
Mm,
And so either
mm.
you don't care or you're not listening, and there's no excuse for it.
And either way, it sucks. Like you don't have to put on like yeah, men can like y'all have it so much easier.
Yeah,
Like
you're not taking
in
off
general,
makeup
you're not taking
and
out yeah.
yeah.
And everybody thinks that crow's feet on men are just so adorable, but let a woman
Yeah, they
have
call
it.
them
And
smile
she's old.
lines.
Oh my god, he's so distinguished. Ah, shut up. But women are. Oh my,
Like,
she
did you
should have
see that
gotten
old
face.
witch's wrinkle?
Right. So I'm like, if you can't take care of your skin, then that's the basic stuff. So what are
You
we doing
can't
here?
take care of your skin, you can't take care of me.
Mm.
Well,
But also, case in point, do not depend on a man to take care of you. You can be in a loving, happy relationship, but have your own stuff. So when you leave, you can leave.
yeah,
Or
that
whenever you
Risa
find out
Tisa
you can't,
did. She had her
yeah,
own
yeah,
shit.
have your own stuff.
She had her stuff together. So good on her. I'm glad it wasn't worse. I did hear she
Yeah.
got like $86,000 to go to London. So that's exciting.
Yes. That is good for you.
But I do hope that those of y'all that don't have the patience to sit through it like I didn't, at least listen to us and get the story if you want to know. I
Right.
wonder if I'm in the minority. I feel like I do have to be in the minority for it to
I
have
think
gone
that's
so
fine.
viral.
To me, because I have to look at her comments because somebody has to think like you, like, because I completely understand where you're coming from, like completely. But I don't think I was as annoyed as you were. But I don't think, and I think that's fine. I like it when people think differently. Like, ooh, I never thought about that. So
Mm.
that's why I was like, girls, tell everybody you're annoyed, girl.
Tell
Tell them,
him.
let them
Yeah,
know.
it was hard for me to get through it. I was thinking that we were gonna like have this podcast out like days ago, but I just couldn't watch all that.
She was like, I'm barely getting through.
She's like, are you ready to record? Nah, girl. I haven't even watched it. I
Mm-mm.
can't finish it.
Right.
But I'm also one of
That's
those
so
people,
funny.
once I start something, I have to finish it. And so I was like, oh God, I have to do it. Even if we weren't doing the podcast, I would have made myself finish it.
Right, right.
Oh, Lordy.
That's so funny.
I mean, I
But
do think that
yeah,
a lot of people have resonated, like they have similar stories. I was looking at
yeah.
comments, and one of them was like, oh my God, this is making me realize that I'm with a Legion. I need to get the fuck out,
Mm,
you know? So I do think that it's a cautionary tale. I do think that it's important story to tell, but maybe like our version in two parts instead of 52.
right, right, right. Um, I don't know. Like I said, and then you've heard like this, even the stepson talked out and he was like, yeah, that dude was freaking weird. Legion tried to come out and be like, they're lying, but no one believes him. Because everyone else has come out and been like, yeah, she's saying exactly what happened. Like,
Yeah, I saw a
And I
video
don't.
with the
Yeah.
first ex-wife, and she's like, "I'm done with this." She was like, "Having to hear this all again is like opening the wound up again. I don't want anything to do with that man ever, 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 ever,
Right.
ever again."
Right. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's uniting people. Like I've seen like old people and different races watch it. Like so, it's uniting people as a whole. That's why I like it because I feel like it's a
I
common
like it for that
denominator.
reason. Yeah, I like it
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
reason.
yeah. But I totally understand what you're saying about like just the entire and
The
it's kind of like oh,
long-windedness of it.
long-windedness. Yeah, I don't think not. I don't like dislike her, but I don't think that like me and Risa would be friends in real life.
No,
Not
I
because I
hope the
dislike
best
her.
for her. Yeah, I don't wish
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
ill
yeah, yeah.
on her, but no, I would not.
But
We wouldn't be friends in real life.
I don't think so. She just doesn't. I don't get like, oh, girl, I want to be friends with you vibe. Like, but I would totally, you know, what would like we would be like super cordial if we worked together. We would be really cordial, and then one day, like, she would tell me the story. She would start to tell me the story, and I'd be like, "Girl, tell me everything," and
Yes, and then you go out for
I would
like
listen.
happy hour after, and then you're like, "Oh my God,
I
I
would
went out with
listen.
ReesaTeesa, and do you know what
Yeah,
she told me?" Yes, I would do that
yeah.
for sure.
I would totally sit down and listen and let her just talk, and I'd be like, "What? What?" Yeah, but we wouldn't be like BFFs or anything.
Yeah, if there's cocktails involved and you're sitting across
Mhm.
from somebody telling a story, that's one thing. But being held hostage from TikTok for 8 hours is a completely different story.
And if me and you were there, we would help her get along. I'm like, okay, okay. So what happened after that? Okay, okay. Like we would
Be
talk.
like, "Yeah,
Okay,
you
no, no,
said
no,
that
we got it.
already. Next."
Yes, we would help her get
Like,
it
no, I
out.
don't
Like,
need any
no, girl.
clarifications. Go on.
No, I got it. And then we would ask the right question. Like I would be like, girl, so what did the knee have to do? You're just saying that because he was stranded in his bed. It didn't have to do. No, you didn't find out. Okay, I just need to know. Where did the
Yeah,
two
I was
thousand dollars
thinking,
go?
yes. Yeah, yeah. My mind went places that this actual story didn't go
Yeah,
with the
but
knee and the twin and all that. That's kind of messed up though. And I'm like, damn, I mean, it was kind of a messed up story, but he could have done this to you.
I know. I'm like, listen, we don't necessarily want because then like you get too dark and you get into like abusive and
Right.
criminal.
But see, like,
That's
I'm
I
mad at
think
my
that's what.
ex because, like, he wasted 10 years of my life, 10 years telling
Right,
subtle little lies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
right,
mad because, like, I appreciate everything. I know that everything in my life has led me to where I am, and I love my life right now. I
right.
really do. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, obviously some stuff, but like, I am very blessed. I love my life, but wasting 10 years of somebody's life versus 2 years, it could,
Mhm,
that could have gone on for a long, 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 long time.
right. And
They
when you
could
were
have put
grown,
in
you
an
were in
offer
your
for the house and been
20s.
accepted. They would have been on the
Yeah,
hook. They could have moved. I mean, that could have gone really.
yeah.
So
But they wouldn't have closed because there wouldn't have been no funds
true.
to transfer.
Oh yeah, did she ever say that Chase Bank one was fake? Did she reverse Google image that one?
Oh, I don't know about the Chase Bank one. I don't know. But
She talked about that one a lot. Pre-approved
yeah.
for.
Oh, the check. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one. Yeah, the pre-approval. Yeah, that one was
Oh,
fake. That one
okay.
was fake. Yeah.
Well, man, that's the story, y'all.
Well,
That's who the F
that's
she
it.
married.
That's yeah. Y'all let us
And they said
know
his real
because it's kind
name.
of a slow time in like pop culture and stuff. And just we have the Oscars coming up, but that's nothing too much. So we were thinking of watching the Wendy Williams documentary and recapping that. But let us know if
Yes.
there's something that you want us to talk about or that you want us to watch. We're thinking about, Leslie is protesting Netflix. And so I don't want to impinge on her protest because that's her right to protest. You should let people protest what they want to freaking
Mm-hmm.
protest. But anyway,
Password
um,
sharing. Password
yes.
sharing.
So but Love is Blind is, there's not enough time in the world for me to talk about Love is Blind, let me tell you. So I would love to talk about that, but let us know if there's something that you guys want to talk about, and we'll look into it.
Yes. I do want to watch that Wendy Williams one though. That looks so good.
Yeah, it does. Like, what the hell?
I
But
love Wendy Williams. It makes me sad for her. Like I know she is uh what's the word? Like controversial, and that she's
Mhm.
like said some mean things about people, but I feel like some of the stuff she said's mean, but I feel like she's more like a little bit honest. I don't know.
Right.
Like her
See,
opinion anyways.
I've never been a big Wendy. That's no, but I also don't wish ill on people. I understand her
No.
importance in pop culture, and she's a black woman, and she's done well for herself. So I'm never gonna knock on that. But she's not. She's never been my favorite person.
I
I feel like
enjoy
she's
Wendy
so shady.
Williams a little bit. Cause I'm like,
Hmm.
cause I'm not like that at all. I'm not like that at
What do you
all.
mean?
Like telling the truth despite people's feelings and stuff, or like
Mm.
telling your
See, the
opinion and being
thing.
like controversial just for the sake of being
Yeah, right. I
controversial.
didn't like that. I feel like she speculated on stuff too much. Like, I'm like, how do you know, Wendy? You just putting stuff out there. Like, she'd be like, the reason why so and so did this is because, and you're like, are you sure? How do you know? Like, that's what would make me mad. 'Cause I'm like, stop speculating. So that would get under my skin.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know why. Sometimes I do love it. She's a good villain to me.
Yeah, I mean, no, people love her. Like,
Yeah.
so, like I said,
She's like I love New York, like Tiffany Pollard. I love her. I
yeah.
absolutely love New York. She would terrifies me, but I love her. I think she's great. I don't know why.
Mm.
Because I
No, yeah, and I
typically don't like
appreciate like
those
that.
type of people.
Right, I appreciate her. She was freaking on the radio and made a show. Like she has such an awesome career. Like I'm not gonna hate on her at all. And then I was pissed at her husband. I don't personally, Johnny, dang it. I don't like personally like her, but I was pissed at her husband when he
Mm,
like had that other woman. Like, always got a girl's back.
right?
So I'm
Johnny's mad
invested in the
too.
story. I don't know what I think there's some cows out there, so he's like, I gotta go get them.
Let me have. All right. Well, that was the ReesaTeesa Who the F Did I Marry series over on TikTok. Hope you guys enjoyed like this roundup, talk about it. Let us know what you think about it. Do you have anything else to add?
No, girl. Mm-mm.
All right. Well, and that's a wrap. Make sure you follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yes, and follow your girl Ramel the Realtor on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube as well.
All right, y'all. Well, woo woo woo, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Woo woo woo.